Okay. So in the last class we discussed about the equilibrium and different kinds of equilibrium, whether it was static equilibrium, whether it was dynamic equilibrium. Yes, can anyone tell me what is the difference between static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium? What is the similarity? Aman, can you tell me the similarity and differences between dynamic and static equilibrium? Hello, Aman.
Yes, sir, I'm not sure. I forgot.
See, I'll revise it for you again. In the case of static equilibrium or dynamic equilibrium, since it's an equilibrium, then summation of F should be, or the net force acting on it should be zero, right? Yes. Whereas in the case of static equilibrium, after that, this is the similarity. If both are equilibrium, the F net and zero in both the cases. Static mein the object is at rest, and in dynamic the object is moving with a constant velocity. That implies it's in uniform motion, if you remember. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there is something called as Lami's theorem for equilibrium. Lami's theorem for equilibrium of three forces. Please remember, whenever there will be three forces, then you can use this Lami's theorem on their object. For example, suppose what is the Lami's theorem is that if let's say there are three forces, this is F1, this is F2, and let's say this is F3. So F1 vector, F2 vector, and F3 vector. Can you see F the angle opposite to F1? Can you see if there is F1, then the angle between F2 and F3 is named as theta 1. If this is F2, then the angle between F3 and F2 is named as theta 2. And if it is F3, then can you see F1 and F2, the angle between them is named as theta 2. So if there are these three forces, and if the object is at rest or in uniform motion, so that implies equilibrium, then for this object, for the object to be in equilibrium, F1 upon sine of theta 1 should be equals to F2 upon sine of theta 2 should be upon F3 upon theta.
सर
Hello Tanay, how are you?
सर सर मेरी मुन की क्लास थी वर्ल्ड यूनाइटेड नेशन क्लास थी मतलब कंपटीशन था तो
What kind of competition was it?
सर इट्स मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशन
Anyway,
डिबेट्स हाँ
okay.
सर could you just स्कूल स्टार्टिंग से आज क्या किया
As we just discussed what was equilibrium, we revised what was equilibrium, static equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium. Then we started with Lami's theorem. Lami's equilibrium, Lami's theorem for equilibrium of three forces. So whenever suppose there is an object over here and it is under the application of three forces, so can you see F1 vector, F2 vector, F3 vector, all of them are at certain angle with each other. The angle opposite, can you see if there is F1, then the angle between F2, F3 is named as theta 1. Similarly, F2 is there, then F3, F1, and in beta theta 2, and F3 is there, so F1, F2, theta 3. So please note the
हाँ सर
angles
क्या बात है
carefully. Huh?
वो अच्छा
This is
got it
Lami's theorem.
सर इसके ऊपर क्या है
इसके ऊपर it was just revision, no need to write that.
okay so static अच्छा ठीक है static
यहाँ से starting.
now
So F1 upon sin theta 1 is equal to F2 upon sin theta 2 is equal to F3 upon sin theta 3. This is in accordance with sine rule for triangles. So you can ask this thing for a math from your math set. although this will be discussed in 11th grade chapters only, in the chapter solutions of triangle. You have this chapter in 11th grade, right? Solution of triangles. So here
Yes,
there is this sine theorem, sine rule. Sine rule is basically a upon this, b upon this, c upon this. So it's the same. Okay. So remember this thing, guys. Sure. I'll give you one question. Uh, two forces acts on an object as shown. So basically there is this object and there are two forces acting on this object. This is F1 which is 6 Newton and this is F2 which is, let's say, 8 Newton. Now the question is, what should be the magnitude as well as direction of a third force for which the object
so could you scroll up, sir?
is in equilibrium? Wait. Let everyone write the question and then I'll just scroll it. You also write the question, madam.
Yes, sir. तो नहीं Lami's theorem की बात है.
Yeah, I will. Wait. First write the question. Leave some space. Leave this much space. 2-3 lines.
So एक second, sir. Background में.
अरे पहले क्वेश्चन लिख.
So I'll write it, sir.
Everyone else is writing this question. No, that's the answer. You also write this question. Then you space till that. Once everyone is done, then मैं ऊपर कर दूँगा. Don't worry.
Okay.
And guys, tell me whenever you're done writing the question.
So लिख दिया question solution.
Done? Everyone also done? Chalo, start solving. Tell me how will you solve it? First thing first, can you see there are three forces involved? So you'll assume that the angle between, let's assume the third force is like this. Because can you see exactly the same figure? So you assume this thing, guys, that
Sir लिखा नहीं है.
let's say the third force is like this at an angle theta with the
Sir could you
horizontal.
show me the
Yeah, sure.
formula?
So ये करना है.
एक second, sir. F sin.
एक तो लेट आते हो, ऊपर से अपने अपने चलाते हो.
Sir done, sir.
नेक्स्ट टाइम से लेट नहीं चाहिए, मैं घुसने नहीं दूंगा क्लास.
सर वो मेरा वो कंपटीशन था, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. I couldn't even attend maths.
ठीक है, इस बार छोड़ रहा हूँ, नेक्स्ट टाइम छोड़.
Sir done, sir.
So guys, what is the only thing which you'll assume? You'll assume that there's a force F3 which is acting at an angle theta. Do you remember rectangular resolution of vectors? है ना? either since I have taught you Lami's theorem, try to do it with Lami's. So can you see if this angle is theta, this angle is 90, right? This angle is also 90, this angle is also 90, and this is 90 minus theta. Yes or no? Are yes or no? So by Lami's theorem, if the object is in equilibrium, then by Lami's theorem, can I write this particular thing F1 upon sine of, do you remember what was theta 1? Theta 1 was the angle opposite to F1. So the angle opposite to F1 is how much? 90 plus 90 minus theta, which is sine of 180 minus theta. Yes or no? Can you see the angle opposite to F1 is this angle? So what is this angle? This 90 plus this 90 minus theta, which is 180 minus theta. Upon F2, what is F2? F2 is basically this, and can you see this angle? What is this angle, guys?
90.
90,
Theta.
90 plus theta, right? Yes or no? And the last one, what is F3? F3 upon, what is this angle? What is this angle, guys? The
90.
angle 90. So basically, can I write sine 90 over here? So can you see Lami's theorem? F1 is given how much? What is F1 given? F1 is 6. And sine of 180 minus theta is how much? Sine theta, right? Should be equals to F2 is 8. And sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. And sine 90 is 1. So can you see from here? F3 into sine theta is equals to 6. And F3 into cos theta is equals to 8. Yes or no? Can you see there are two equations, two variables? Solvable? Guys, is this solvable? On squaring and adding 1 and 2. Will I get F3 square sine square theta plus cos square theta on the left hand side, and it will be 6 square plus 8 square on the right hand side. So from here, can you see F3 is under root of 36 plus 64, which is under root of 100, and this is equal. Can you see the magnitude is 10 Newton? And what about the direction? On dividing 1 and 2. Can you see F3 and F3 will get cancelled out with each other? So sine theta upon cos theta is basically 6 upon 8, which is, and this is equals to tan theta. So tan theta is 3 by 4. So if I make a triangle 3, 4, 5. So tan theta is 3 by 4, then 3, 4, 5 triangle, if you remember, this is 37 degrees. And the answer is, please write from the beginning. Done?
नहीं सर.
जल्दी करो. Guys, are you done?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you do it with Lami's theorem. It's not necessary to use Lami's theorem as well, because after some time you will be understanding called something called as free body diagram. Once you are done, once you know how to draw free body diagram, then you don't need to remember Lami's theorem and all. We'll solve it by a normal method, the free body diagram. Is this clear? So these type of questions are pretty much common in this thing. Now let's talk about the laws of, so Newton's laws of, write down heading guys. Newton's laws. I think you people are all aware with all the laws. So we'll have a quick revision. First law is
So which
all,
chapter is this?
this is Newton's laws of motion, beta. Chapter number I think 5.
Okay.
Force and laws of motion. You have this chapter, right?
Yes, sir.
That chapter.
Okay.
The first law is basically also known as the law of inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is basically the property of a body to. Is the property of an object or a system to resist the change. Please remember, it is not resisting the motion, it is resisting the change in the state of motion of an object. Okay? Is this clear? Do you remember the ninth grade we have already discussed about inertia and all? Ninth grade you might be familiar with inertia of rest, inertia of direction, inertia of motion, right? Right, guys? Did you do that in ninth grade? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that in ninth grade? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. All this.
Yes, sir. Sir, rest motion.
If an object is at rest, it will try to remain at rest. That is the inertia of rest. If an object is in motion, it will try to remain in the motion. है ना? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
So basically, that's inertia. Some things to note about inertia is very important. Shall I write the types of inertia so that at least it will be there somewhere included, so you remember what exactly is inertia of rest, then inertia of motion, uniform motion, and the last one is inertia of direction. Please remember, inertia is, just give me two. So inertia, guys, you know. Huh. So I was talking about inertia. Inertia is basically the property of an object or a system to resist the change in its state. Always remember, state of motion को resist नहीं कर रहा है. It is resisting the change. If I want to be at rest, then I will be at until and unless an external force doesn't act on it. है ना? तो जब तक कोई मेरे को आके धक्का मार के बाहर नहीं निकालेगा, I'll keep on sitting there only. Yes or no? If I'm running, I'll keep on running until and unless someone put their leg in between, तो मैं गिर जाऊं. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So basically,
So
all
you
this,
keep running only when you have energy.
what?
आप भाग रहे हो तो after some time you probably stop.
हाँ, तो वो तो मैं भाग रहा है ना, वो जाने दे. मैं समझ आइडियल कैसे भगवान है ना. आई कैन रन फॉर एवर. ऐसा. आई एम अ फिजिक्स टीचर, आई कैन डू एनीथिंग ब्रो. अभी तूने फिजिक्स टीचर को अंडर एस्टिमेट नहीं करना. अभी तो देखो कहाँ कहाँ से कैसी कैसी चीजें निकलेंगी. So anyways, inertia of a body depends upon the mass of a body ठीक है. More the mass, more will be the inertia. Guys, please write along with me. Na? So always remember, inertia of a body depends upon the mass of a body. More the mass, more will be the inertia. So for example, suppose if you have a heavier body and a lighter body. This is a lighter body and this is a heavier body. The mass of this is capital M, then the mass of this is small m. And if I am applying a small force, capital F, the same force I am applying to F, which will be ready to leave its state of rest. Let's say initially both are at rest, which will be more readily leaving, state of rest. The heavier mass or the lighter mass, which will be easier to push, guys.
So heavy, lighter.
So the lighter body will be easy to push because lighter will readily leave the motion, right? Because it has lesser inertia. Okay? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Will have lesser inertia. Hence it moves readily as compared to heavy body. Is this clear? So this is the inertia thing. Now, what is the first law of motion? Newton's first law of motion, also called as the law of inertia, the statement of the law I'm giving you. Guys, I'm giving you the statement of first law. So according to the first law, if no external unbalanced force acts on acts on an object or a system, then the object will not change its state of motion.
So could you scroll up, sir?
Or scroll up, it's this much.
नहीं. Yeah. Yeah, sir, done.
Done?
Yes, sir, done.
Check. So please remember this is the statement of the first law. If no external unbalanced force acts on an object or a system, then the object will not change its state of motion. Will not change its state of motion. If it is at rest, it will remain at rest. So I can add another statement to this. A body at rest remains at rest, and a body in uniform motion remains in that state of uniform motion until and unless a net external unbalanced force is applied. So basically, this is your statement of first law of motion. You can use this statement or you can use this statement. Doesn't matter. Okay? Is this clear, the first law, guys? Done? See, guys, if net force is 0, that implies net acceleration is 0. That implies velocity is remaining constant. Are you getting my point? So can you see it's so simply mathematically proved. When net force 0 है, so velocity constant. If there is no net force, then velocity is constant. Is it clear? Easy, right? Let's do the second law, and after that the third law, and then we'll start with the forces. How to draw each and every force. Done? Are you done? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Chaliye, let's do the second law of motion. The first law, now the second law. It is also called as the law of unbalanced forces. What will happen if a net external? First law deals with what will happen when there is no net force. Can you see this over here? The first law focuses on when the net force is 0. The second law focuses on when what will happen when there will be a net force. Okay. So the second law says that it states that basically I'm giving you the statement. It states that the net external unbalanced force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum of the body or system. Is this clear? So always remember the net external force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. When you remove the sign of proportionality, you multiply by a constant, and in this constant Newton took it as 1. So from here, F external F external is equals to delta P by delta. Okay? Please remember, this force is always external force. It can never be internal force. Suppose, guys, tell me this particular thing. कभी पेट में you have you heard that voice गुड़ 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 or something?
That is because we are hungry, right, sir?
Yes, that is because you are hungry. So basically, in that particular case, why does that voices comes from your stomach? It's because your muscle lining of the stomach it moves. Yes. So whenever it is moving, that implies some force is there, right? Yes or no? Yes or no,
Yes.
guys? But
So, yes.
Yes, sir.
because of that force, do you get displaced by a certain distance? Because of that force, do you get displaced by a certain distance, or you just पेट पे ऐसे हाथ रख के बैठे होंगे उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है ना? Yes or no? So please remember, whenever you talk, I'll give you another example. है ना? Suppose एक ट्रेन में बैठे, you are sitting in a train, or let's say you are sitting in a car, and then you are pushing the car from inside, so that the car will move. Is that possible? Hello? Hello? Guys, did you understand my question? What was it? Hello, guys? Can you please put your phone on mute? I can't hear anyone.
Sir,
I'm asking whether this particular thing, you are sitting inside a car and then you are pushing the car. Will that car move?
No, sir.
No. Why didn't it move? You are applying a force, the car should move, right? Yes or no? So the point is this, whenever there is an internal force which is applied on a system, then that internal force never contributes in a motion. That is why this force which is changing the momentum of an object is always the external force. I'll write this thing somewhere over there. Since internal forces of the system can never change the momentum of the system. So that is why it is. That is why it is. Only external force which is contributing to the momentum. That only external force is responsible for change in momentum. Is this clear, guys? So always remember, whenever we need to talk about the average force will be equals to delta P by delta T. Average force will always be equals to delta P by delta T. Whereas if someone talks about instantaneous force will be, you remember there is a difference between average and instantaneous. Average is basically delta P by delta T, and instantaneous force is equals to dP by dt.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Tell me.
So, अगर like there's like a very strong person sitting in how do I explain it? Like एक गाड़ी है उसमें जैसे एक कोई सुपरमैन बैठा है,
ठीक है, ठीक है,
उसने गाड़ी को ऊपर पंच किया,
हाँ ठीक है,
थोड़ा तो हिलेगी,
नहीं हिलेगी,
नहीं ऑब्वियसली हिलेगी सर।
नहीं हिलेगी, अंदर बैठा है गाड़ी के वो,
हाँ तो उसने ऊपर पंच किया,
नहीं हिलेगी, तब भी नहीं हिलेगी।
अगर
हिलना
उसका पंच
हिलना
का वो force उसके
हिलना
वेट से ज्यादा हुआ तो
नहीं, इट्स नॉट अबाउट द पंचेस और वेट, द फोर्स इंटरनल सिस्टम। कभी वही सुपरमैन बाहर से पंच करेगा तो कार उड़ जाएगी, द कार विल फ्लाई इफ ही पंचेस फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड, but it's like when he's sitting
Sir,
inside,
समझ रहा है। So if the power in the force of the punch is greater than the weight and the
doesn't
weight
matter.
of the हाँ
हमेशा we talk about those forces which are acting from outside on that object. We don't talk
but
about
no,
what
it
is
will obviously change, sir. It will obviously change.
क्या वो मोशन में कंट्रीब्यूट करेगी। तू ही सब
नहीं,
कर,
ऊपर
तू
से-
सुपरमैन है और तू एक प्लेन के अंदर बैठ के प्लेन को अंदर से पुश कर रहा है, पॉसिबल है क्या?
सर
मतलब
नहीं, अगर मैं ऊपर
ऐसे
जैसे
साहब-
कोई एक जगह पे फोर्स लगाऊं, नहीं
हाँ।
I see एक second, it will happen like this, okay? So like could you draw like a square?
I can draw a square, look.
हाँ तो जैसे ये सुपरमैन सर like draw Superman like one end like on the right side, no एक right side completely right, हाँ, ये भी ठीक है, हाँ like that। अब जैसे इसमें व्हील्स है गाड़ी में,
And you are applying force from here.
हाँ तो अभी गाड़ी थोड़ी आगे जाएगी ना,
नहीं जाएगी, नहीं जाएगी, क्योंकि ये जो फोर्स तो लगा रहा है ये इसके इंटरनल फोर्सेस सिस्टम की इंटरनल फोर्स की कभी तूने लगाया फॉर एग्जाम्पल सपोज कभी यहाँ पे
अगर ये जैसे इंसान उड़ रहा है जैसे इसके
ये उड़
पैर
रहा है।
जमीन में नहीं है, हाँ
ठीक,
तब क्या
तो भी मेरे भाई तो भी
तो अंदर से पुश कर रहा है उससे तो
तो
obviously
अंदर हवा भी तो है, देयर इज लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर। इस हिसाब से मुझे एक बात बता, कभी तेरे गाड़ी में इज देयर अ फ्लाई एवर एंटर्ड इनटू योर कार?
या
वो तो जो उड़ती रहती है वो तो नॉर्मली अपना जैसे नॉर्मल घर में उड़ती है वैसे वो कार में भी उड़ती है।
हाँ
हाँ तो फिर तेरे हिसाब से तो वो कांटेक्ट में था ही नहीं तो उसको उड़ना ही नहीं चाहिए ऐसे। जैसे मैं कार आगे करूंगा वैसे ही वो मेरी सारी जो मक्खियां हैं उनको पीछे वाले रेयर विंडशील्ड पे चिपक जाना चाहिए, हाँ है ना?
हाँ
ऐसा होता है क्या?
या
ऐसा होता है क्या? हाँ बोल रहा है।
नहीं होता नहीं
हाँ तो फिर सेम है भाई, इंटरनल फोर्सेस का मैकेनिज्म थोड़ा अलग है।
सर अगर हम सीट बेल्ट नहीं पहनेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली
अब देख,
अरे वो द फ्लाइज वो मक्खियां पीछे नहीं जाती बिकॉज़ इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन।
हाँ तो वो तो कांटेक्ट में नहीं है ना तेरे हिसाब से, तो वो तो कांटेक्ट में नहीं है, ये तो फिर भी कांटेक्ट में
मेरा
नहीं गिरेगा।
क्वेश्चन अलग है, मतलब अगर अंदर से कोई फोर्स है जैसे पुश कर रहा है तो ऑब्वियसली रूल सर।
नहीं ना, अंदर वाली फोर्स, अब मेरे को एक बात बता, सपोज तू ये सुपरमैन है और ये ट्रेन है, तो ये सुपरमैन ट्रेन पे एक तू तेरे हिसाब से फोर्स लगा रहा है इधर के डायरेक्शन में, आया ना? आया ना?
हाँ
और फिर दिस इज द फोर्स ऑन ट्रेन ड्यू टू सुपरमैन, एंड ये भाई पे एक इक्वल एंड ऑपोजिट फोर्स लगेगी बिकॉज ऑफ योर थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन, जो पढ़ेंगे हम थोड़ी देर में। तो दिस इज द फोर्स ऑन सुपरमैन बिकॉज ऑफ द ट्रेन, राइट? कभी तू
हाँ।
ये बोल रहा है कि सर ये ट्रेन को आगे की तरफ जाना चाहिए, फिर उस हिसाब से तो सुपरमैन को भी पीछे की तरफ आना चाहिए। बोला हाँ
हाँ
हाँ।
हाँ
तो कभी उस हिसाब से तो फिर उनका कांटेक्ट एक सेकंड के अंदर खत्म हो जाएगा। कभी दोनों अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में मूव करने लग गए तो फिर पुश कैसे कर रहा है? Are you getting my point? If you are saying because of this force on the force on train due to Superman, the train moves in the forward direction. So because of this force on Superman due to train, the Superman will move in the backward direction, right? So within, as soon as they will come in contact, they will experience the force and they will separate, right? है ना?
हाँ सर.
तो फिर कांटेक्ट कैसे हुआ? समझ में आई मेरी बात? तो इसलिए इंटरनल फोर्सेस के चक्कर में ही हम कभी भी बोलते हैं कि ये जो फोर्सेस हैं, both of these forces will never contribute the motion of the whole system. कभी तू बैटमैन बन के आया और बैटमैन बन के यहाँ से इसको एक गन मार के पुश कर दिया, तो whole thing will start move with certain velocity. Are you getting my point?
हाँ सर.
So ये थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखें कि internal forces will never ever contribute in motion of the object, only external forces. Okay, so these forces which will define dp by dt, delta p by dt, they are external forces always. Is this clear? अच्छा, vector form में can I write it in vector form? What is the average force? It will be delta p vector by delta p. This is the average force. Can I see what is the instantaneous force? It is equal to d vector by dt. Yes or no? Is this clear, guys? So basically these two things are used separately. Please remember, this is average force which is done over an interval. Average force is applied over an interval, and instantaneous force is basically applied at an instant, at a particular instant, at any particular. Is this clear? Write down till here, please. If you're done writing till here, let's move on.
हाँ वेट उसके नीचे आ जाता हूँ. ये फोर्स एवरेज वेक्टर है ना?
हाँ, average force vector. So the one which I wrote in the second form is the vector form. Although we know this particular thing now. Acha, please remember, can you see from here? Force is always acting in that direction in which the momentum changes. Anna? Can you see? It's the same way as the direction of acceleration is the same direction of change in velocity. If velocity is decreasing, it's in the opposite way. If velocity is increasing, it's in the same direction. Okay?
Yeah.
Sorry. There is one more form for this Newton's second law, which is the most common form, if you remember. F is equals to m into a. Where does it come from? Can you see? Instantaneous force is equals to dp by dt. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Can I write p is equals to mass into velocity? Can I write it like this? Can I write momentum as mass multiplied by velocity?
Yes.
It will be d by dt of mv vector. Yes or no? So can you see mass to constant hai? Mass will come out. Yes. It will be mass coming out dv by dt. And this, what is dv by dt, by the way? What is dv by dt? What is the rate of change of momentum? So from here you derive this particular thing. F is equals to mass into acceleration. Please remember, according to Newton's second law, the net unbalanced force will create a net acceleration in its hand. Is this clear? Please write it. Whenever you're done.
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. MD तो DADT होना चाहिए ना
What?
ये MDADT
M into DADT. Acha? What is the dVdt means? If you remember, A was equals to dVdt. If you remember. याद है कि भूल गया है सब? Kinematics.
वो अच्छा या rate of change
What? Acceleration is defined as the rate of change of velocity. dV by dt. क्या भूल गए हो? Basically dV by dt. Yes or no? So basically, I just replace this dV by dt with A. Nothing else. Done? Now, let's talk about Newton's third law, which is the most famous law. Law of action and for every action there exists an equal and reaction. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Please remember, force always acts in pairs. Force always acts in pairs whenever a force is applied on one object by in spite of writing this particular thing, I'll just draw it. Force always acts in pairs. See, for example, suppose there is this object A and there is this object B. Okay, so let's say these two objects they come in contact with each other, due to which they will apply force on each other, right? So A will apply some force on B, so this is basically the force on B due to it. So FBA is basically force on B due to it, and this B will apply the same force on A in the opposite direction, and this is equal to FAB. Well, what is FAB? It is equals to force on A. Can you see? Both are acting on different objects. Yes or no, guys? So here, by Newton's third law, FBA vector and FAB vector has the same magnitude, but they act in the opposite direction. So I can write FBA is minus of FA. Can you see the forces are equal and opposite to each other? Yes or no?
If we scroll up, sir,
Yeah, sure.
if we scroll down,
Yeah, what?
if we scroll down,
That's done. I'll give you another example. Suppose. Acha, हाँ. We'll write that later on. Suppose there is a wall and there is this kid who is trying to push the wall. So there is this boy who is trying to push the wall. So basically, he is applying certain force on the wall. So what is this? This is FWB. What is FWB? Force on wall because of the boy or due to the boy. Yes or no? Similarly, boy will also be experiencing the same force in the backward direction. The force on boy FWB force on boy. Can you please note this particular thing? They both are acting on different objects. Yes or no? Yes or no? So if the boy is pushing the this wall with the force F1, then the wall will also push him back with the same force but in the opposite direction. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Shall I give you one more example? Suppose. If a fight between two boys happens, है ना? तो एक बंदे ने दूसरे वाले को घुमा के एक चाटा मारा. So what is the first guy doing to the second? Which are the two objects involved? The first guy's hand and the second guy's cheek, है ना? So from the hand of the first boy, there will be a force which will be acting on the cheek of the second guy, right? So that is the action. And what is the reaction? जब वो मारता है तो हाथ पे भी लगती है. If you remember, if you hit someone, then even you get hurt. You also feel the pain, right?
Yes, sir.
So basically, what is that guy doing? That guy is hitting you from his cheek on your hand. So basically, this is the reaction part. So that is why even your hand, becomes a little bit red after some time. समझ में आ रही है action reaction की बात है. So you see, both the action and reaction. अच्छा हाँ, एक very important question is like they asked in school exams कि since action and reaction both are equal, I'll write it in question format only. Question ऐसा देते हैं school में. We know that action and reaction are equal and opposite. So the question is, can they cancel out each other's effect? Can they cancel out each other's effect? This is the question. Can they cancel out? We know that action and reaction are equal and opposite, right? But like, can they cancel out each other's effect? The answer should be yes or no. The answer should be no. They can't cancel out each other. Why can't they cancel out each other? Because both action and reaction acts on different objects. तो दोनों की दोनों जो force है, they are acting on different objects. If they would have been, acting on the same object, then there was a chance of cancelling out each other's effect. But because both the action and reaction are acting on different objects, hence there is no what cancelling out each other's effect. Okay, so this is your third law. Lots of examples are there. If you pull the trigger of a gun, then the bullet goes out, right? The bullet initially it is at rest, now it is going out. That implies the gun has applied certain force on the bullet. Yes or no? So that is why also, have you seen the gun moves in the backward direction because of recoil? We call it recoil. Guys, hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you please keep your phones on and mute, please? तो ऐसा लगता है मैं खुद से बातें करता रहता हूँ. So anyways,
Sir, I'm here now.
yeah, thanks.
So they can't cancel out each other because they act in different bodies.
Yes, they act on different objects. That is why they can't. If they would have been acting on the same object, then there was a possibility of cancelling out each other. But no. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? So basically, these are your three laws of motion, which are very important. The application part of it, you are already did in which grade? Ninth grade. Yes. So we'll see some commonly used forces, and we'll see what is the direction of these forces. Some commonly used mechanical forces. There is something called as normal reaction. Then there is frictional force. I'm giving you example, this is a separate chapter although it can be discussed in Newton's laws of motion. Friction, there is tension in the strings, then there is spring force, then there is weight of an object, etc., etc. So there are lots of forces which are there in nature. Okay, guys, lots of forces. We'll study the some common ones. Yes, tell me.
Buoyant force.
Buoyant force also. So whenever their respective chapters will come, let's start. Okay. Let's start with first the gravitational force. We're not studying the nuclear force and all. We are studying only the one which are required for basically the revision of forces which are already done in previous units. So first, the gravitational force. Gravitational force is basically, suppose if I have two masses. This is m1 and this is m2. If you remember, by Newton's law of gravitation, they attract each other by certain force, right? Yes or no, guys? Do you remember this Newton's law of gravitation, grade 9? Fg is equals to G m1 m2 upon r square. किसी को याद है? Guys, do you remember? किसको याद भी है ये कि भूल गए हो? 9th grade.
I remember.
Yeah. This is gravitational force. It's attractive in nature because of the mass of the object. It is by virtue of the masses of the object. It is attractive force. It is a non-contact force. You understand non-contact force, right? The forces which do not need any contact. This is whole. This formula.
So could you scroll up, sir?
भाई ये सब नहीं लिखना है. Don't write this. The sub commonly used mechanical forces, and the first force write it over here, gravitational force.
I'll just write it, sir.
लिख लो भाई, तू फटाफट लिख, जल्दी लिख.
So done, sir. Gravity.
This formula holds true for any 2-point mass. This formula is not valid for every object. It is only valid for 2-point masses. Point masses, you understand? Basically,
We can consider any object as a collection of points.
Yeah, but still, you can maybe there will be a concept of center of mass and center of gravity involved, which will come later on.
Yeah, only if it has center of gravity, then only.
So, anyways,
Right?
So remember this. After this, there is something called as weight of an object. Weight is again a gravitational force only, but this is the most common type of gravitational force which we will encounter. So weight of an object. What? How do you define the weight? It is the force with which.
So in the last 5 minutes of the class, could you explain me the
Explain what?
wait, so, this the question of Liam's theorem, Lami's theorem.
In the last 5 minutes we'll do that.
Yeah.
Or after the class, after once every the class will get over, then we'll
Yeah, fine.
the force with which the weight of an object is basically the force with which the earth pulls an object towards its center. Okay? And that force is basically called as what? The weight. Is this clear? Weight is denoted by W and it is mass multiplied by G. mg, if you remember. And what is G? G is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay? Is this clear, guys? Hello. But please remember, this G is equals to 9.8 meter per second square. G की value we know, but this formula is only valid for near Earth objects. The near Earth surface object, or you can say for objects. For objects near Earth surface, लिख लो फटाफट लिख लो. What is the direction of this force? Yes, what is the direction of this force? It always acts towards the center of the earth, right? If the dimensions of the objects are considered negligible, if I consider the dimensions negligible, basically the concept of point object, if you remember, first class kinematics we did this. So suppose if there is a block, so what is the direction of weight acting on this block? If this is ground, ground is horizontal, let's say. Hello? So can anyone tell me what will be the direction of weight of this object? If the mass of the object is m, then will this force mg act in the downward direction? Yes or no? Yes or no? We already discussed about this force. If you remember, the gravity was acting downwards, no? G was acting downwards, mass multiplied by gravity, then. So here it is acting vertically downwards. Is this clear? Achha, what if I place the object on an inclined plane like this? Can you see an inclined plane? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this object is on an inclined plane. So there is this object of mass m. Can anyone tell me what will be the direction of mg now?
Will it
Direction
still
of
be
what?
down?
Will it
Direction of
still-
what?
What will be the direction of mg now? If suppose this inclined plane is at an angle theta, then what is the direction of mg now? Will mg be like this? Will mg be like this? Yes or
No,
no?
sir.
No, mg will not be like this. Then how will be mg? Will mg be like this?
Yes,
Na?
sir.
So always remember the force mg is acting like vertically downwards if the object's dimensions are small. Is this fine? Is this fine, guys? Acha, what if the object's dimension is big? If the dimensions of the object are big, dimensions of object is comparable to what?
So scroll up. If dimension.
जल्दी लिखो भाई, जल्दी लिखो.
Yeah.
Guys, give me 2 minutes. मैं तो थोड़ा सा खड़ा होने लगा. It's like,
So could you scroll down?
or scroll up. Is it fine?
नहीं, down, sit down, sit down. Okay.
Guys, give me 2 minutes. Let me just stand up and look for a little while. Hello.
Yes, sir.
हाँ. So if the dimensions of the object is now comparable to Earth, तो मतलब कभी मेरा dimensions object का बड़ा है, तो will Earth look like this?
And the
Will Earth look like this? Let's say this is the center of Earth, and let's say the object is over here. If the object is way big as compared to the center of, as compared to the radius of Earth, so what will be the direction of mg now? Suppose the mass is m, then what will be the direction of mg? It will always act towards the center of Earth. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? Is this clear? Hello? Suppose if the object is over here. If the object is over here, can anyone tell me what will be the direction of mg now? Can anyone tell me what will be the direction of mg now? Will it be like this? Hello?
yes, sir.
Will it be like this?
No, MG will be set.
It will be towards east.
So it will be towards the center always. So if the dimensions of object is comparable to Earth, then it will be towards the center of Earth. थोड़ा ध्यान रख के बनाना. The only thing in this chapter is to draw the forces correct. If you can draw the forces correct, then automatically your answer will come correct. Okay? Is it clear, guys? Is weight clear? Is weight clear? How to draw weight clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now let's talk about how to draw something from force which is called as normal reaction. What is normal reaction? See, whenever two objects are in contact, with each other. So suppose A and B was in contact. If you remember, A and B was in contact. I told you this particular thing. So whenever two objects are in contact with each other, then they both try to push each other away. This force is called as reaction force.
तो ये जो आपने डायग्राम ड्रॉ किया ऊपर, it's only for Earth or any planet?
अर्थ और एनी प्लैनेट भाई, एनी प्लैनेट, बट जनरली mg, if you remember, mg is for g
And
is
this
equal
is
to,
only possible when the dimensions are comparable.
हाँ, यस,
हैं? ये कैसा लॉजिक है?
ये लॉजिक है, जब पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट रहेगा तो तेरे को कर्वेचर दिखेगा नहीं अर्थ का।
So, अगर छोटा सा ऑब्जेक्ट है
हाँ,
तो that will not be the
No.
same में क्या?
कभी तूने तेरा अर्थ को भी सिस्टम में लेके आ गया, मतलब तेरा ऑब्जेक्ट कंपेरेबल हो गया ना। भले से अर्थ के ऊपर छोटा ऑब्जेक्ट भी होता, अर्थ पूरी दिख रही है और एक छोटा सा ऑब्जेक्ट भी है, स्टिल इट वुड एक्ट लाइक दिस,
So if it's some two other objects,
like this. Even if these objects are small, but can you see Earth? So you have
what is the
you're
meaning of
watching from
dimensions?
space.
So what is the meaning of dimensions is
Dimension
comparable.
मतलब उस ऑब्जेक्ट का साइज, जनरली उस ऑब्जेक्ट का साइज होता है। बट व्हेन you have put Earth into your diagram, that implies you are observing from space. देखो अर्थ तो छोटी दिखेगी और तेरा ऑब्जेक्ट और छोटा दिखेगा। ऑब्जेक्ट बड़ा भी हुआ तब भी ऐसा ही डायग्राम, छोटा भी हुआ तब भी ऐसा ही डायग्राम।
Oh, okay. सर सर आपने स्टेटमेंट क्यों लिखा है?
क्या?
आपने लिखा है डायमेंशन इट शुड बी लाइक कंपैरेबल
हाँ, if the dimensions are comparable to Earth, मतलब बेसिकली तूने अर्थ को फिगर में डाल दिया है। Here, did you see any Earth here? Here, did you see any Earth here? You just saw ground, right?
if it is ground and that then it can be from anywhere.
हाँ, ये स्पेस में आ गया था। यहाँ पे ग्राउंड पे है, यहाँ पे द ऑब्जर्वर इज ऑन ग्राउंड एंड हियर द ऑब्जर्वर इज इन स्पेस। अर्थ को तूने लिया है फ्रेम में। कैन यू सी द कर्वेचर ऑफ द अर्थ? कैन यू सी द कर्वेचर ऑफ अर्थ? कैन यू सी द कर्वेचर फ्रॉम बीइंग ऑन अर्थ? नहीं ना, ऊपर जाना पड़ता है ना उसके लिए स्पेस। आया ना? चलो, so whenever two objects are in contact with each other, then they both try to push each other with this force is called as reaction force. What is this normal reaction then? Normal reaction is basically the force which is perpendicular to the force that is perpendicular to the surface on which the object has been kept. Is called as your normal reaction. And why the name normal? Because it is acting perpendicular to the surface on which the object is placed. जहाँ जहाँ पे wherever the contact
It is screwing up. So if two objects are in contact with each other, they will try to push each other away, right?
हम्म,
So gravity का
भाई ऐसा जरूरी है कि ग्रेविटी अलग फोर्स है, ये अलग फोर्स है? ऐसा इज इट नेसेसरी कि देयर कैन ओनली वन फोर्स एक्ट ऑन एन ऑब्जेक्ट? कांट मल्टीपल फोर्स एक्ट ऑन एन ऑब्जेक्ट?
ग्रेविटी का भी रिएक्शन होता है.
नहीं, ग्रेविटी से भी ग्रेविटी से नहीं, जहाँ पे भी कांटेक्ट मिलेगा वहाँ पे एक्शन रिएक्शन होगा। वो भले से बाद में ग्रेविटी को बैलेंस करे, वो अलग बात। अभी we are talking about individual forces.
हाँ.
You're saying
Oh,
individual
yeah,
forces.
wait. When two objects are in contact with each other, वो अपने अंदर नहीं जाते क्योंकि there's gravity and a reaction.
क्या? अरे यार देख मैं तेरे को सिर्फ बना के बता सपोज
Please scroll up.
दिस इज पहले लिख ले फिर डाउट पूछना
Forces is
है ना
the surface on which the object is actually. Yeah.
guys are you done writing
All formal. नहीं. Whenever there's contact between the very moving object. हाँ हो गया.
so now see this thing guys suppose there is an object of mass m which is placed on ground like this so can you see an object which is placed on the ground now can you see the weight of the object will act downwards right so the earth will try to pull this object with mg yes or no this is what we discussed in the previous force right in this force
Yeah.
can you see this ground and this block is in contact with each other if they are in contact with each other so they will try to get apart from each other right or get away from each other right so for that they will try to push each other the ground will try to push this in this direction you see the ground is trying to push it away from it and similarly the block will try to push the ground on in the other direction with the same force but can you see in the other direction can you see here this force is basically the force on block due to ground and this is the force on ground due to block but I'm not writing it in this format can you see I have drawn this force acting on the block whereas I have drawn this force acting on the ground yes or no yes or no guys hello
Yes, sir.
so this is your normal reaction and now this normal reaction and this mg will be balanced with each other why because the object is that are you getting my point okay
Yeah.
समझ में आया तेरा डाउट्स क्लियर हो गया क्या था सर एन और एमजी में क्या हो रहा है so anyway this is case 1 keep on drawing guys there are lots of cases more to come case 2 is suppose when I place it on an inclined plane there is this inclined plane at an angle theta so can anyone tell me what will be the direction of mg what will be the direction of mg mg will be acting vertically downwards yes or no what will be the direction of n can you see the direction of n is this the surface on which the object is placed so perpendicular to this surface away from this surface this is the direction of n on the block this is the direction of n on the block due to the inclined plane okay and this is the direction of n can you see equal and opposite direction n on inclined plane due to block is this clear guys is this clear guys I will be not writing this now in, which on which is the force acting or something like that okay is this clear guys how to draw normal reaction
So shouldn't normally be directly opposite to that?
shouldn't normal be directly
Opposite.
no it's not necessary normal should always be normal to the surface now no one said it should be equal to mg always no
It shouldn't. It should be equal to LG.
no it should not be equal to mg in everything if it is getting equal it's good thing it's not necessary ऐसा किसी ने बोला नहीं अब जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ले केस 3 I draw case 3 केस 3 सपोज कर कि एक वॉल है मेरे पास ऐसी, there is a wall and I have this block and I'm pushing this block against the wall. अब मुझे बताए in this case what will this block do? अच्छा, there is suppose friction as well, है ना? So when you are pushing this block against the wall, what tries to pull it down? The gravity tries to pull it down. What tries to keep it steady? The friction acting on it keeps it steady. Friction acts in this direction. But here in this case, the normal reaction, can you see the surface is like this? If the surface is like this, then the normal reaction acting on this surface will be this side. And this will be the normal reaction on the block because of the wall. So it will apply an equal and opposite force on the okay guys. So are you seeing how do you draw the normal reaction perpendicular to the surface which is in contact? Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear guys? We'll see some more cases in the next class and then we'll continue. Okay. The normal reaction के बाद we have tension, we have some rules for tension, then there are spring forces and then some questions. Okay. Thank you very much guys.
So,